if y'all just stop scrolling for 1 minute to hear my story, that would be great. Um, I was in state custody. I got taken at the age of 14, and I would have aged out of the system, but that's where the story time comes in. As of now, there are, or there are probably more than this. This was the latest update was 2 years ago. There are 1,790 kids that are missing in state custody of Georgia. Okay, 410 of them kids were ST'd. I can't say the words because I don't want to hit any guidelines. But 410 of them kids were ST'd. That's ridiculous. Now to get into my story. So, like I said, I got taken at the age of 14 years old, and the way it happened, my parents were working and making, and they were gone for weeks. I mean, weeks. But my best friend lived across the road, and my brother lived next door, so I guess they just thought it was okay. Well, I wake up one morning, and there is a police over me, screaming at me, telling me to wake up with, I don't know if I can say that, not like one of those, but the other things that they have, if that makes sense. At my head, and she was screaming at me. Well, they came and they came and took me, and I didn't know where I was gonna go. They called my aunt and uncle first. My aunt and uncle told them no, they didn't want me. After I've been grown, they said that because they heard me call them a name over the phone. Okay, I'm an angry child, first of all. You just stripped me away from my family. Yeah, I'm gonna call everybody every name in the book. I am. And did. So they didn't want me, so the only other people that I knew were my grandparents. Well, I moved in with my grandparents, and I hated life. I hated the world. You couldn't tell me anything. I was gonna do what I wanted no matter what. And I'm not here to sit here and bash my grandparents or whatever like that, but it wasn't so great when I was living with them the first time. So I made some arrangements without anybody knowing to move to another foster home. Well, I ended up moving there. Things were a little bit better. I was near my brother, which made me very happy because I'm not a mama's girl nor a daddy's girl. I'm a brother's girl, 1,000%. Always have been. So things were going good until things weren't so good. And I'm not going to get into that story unless everyone wants to know that story time. And then I guess I'll come on here and tell you that story time on how I got kicked out of that foster home too. Well, at this point, again, I don't know where I'm about to go. I'm flipping out. The police just came and took my phone. I have no way to contact anybody. Nothing. So I ended up back at my grandparents, and I say thankfully because I'd rather be there than with someone I didn't know. But then again, maybe if I was with someone I didn't know, these things would have never happened to me. My grandmother was supposed to get custody of me in December of 2019, and she didn't. I don't know what it was. She said something in the courtroom that day, and the judge did not grant her the custody. She was going to get custody of me and just give me back to my parents. She didn't care because I didn't cause so much trouble. Well, obviously that upset me not getting her custody because I knew the plan. I was going to go back to my parents. Like I said, it didn't go as planned. Well, I started acting out again because I hated the world. You couldn't tell me anything at this point in life. But there was one place I could go that wasn't my grandparents, like, just to hang out. And I'm not going to use this person's name because I've never really come out and talked about this story either. Except for to my husband. My husband knows the full story on what happened. But, some very unfortunate things happened to me, and to this day my grandmother still does not believe me. She said that if I was around this person, then she was always around, so it could have never happened. But I mean, that is what it is. So, like I said, I was acting out in school, and I got suspended one morning. Now, I didn't live but like 5 minutes from the school. It took my grandmother 3-4 hours to come pick me up. Alright, that already threw me off because why did it take you that long to come pick me up? Well, we didn't speak one word on the way home. I went inside, I went to my bedroom. As soon as I opened my door, my heart dropped. All my stuff was packed up in the middle of the floor in boxes. So in my head, she's sending me back to this, like, in the system. She doesn't care anymore, and the defects workers are probably on their way. Well, so I turned on some music on my phone. I grabbed what I felt was necessary, which was my socks, my underwear, and my bras. Because, like I say, everything was packed up, so I just grabbed my necessities. I could buy other clothes, but I needed to change those, if anything, first. And I tried to open her window, or my bedroom window, and it wouldn't open, but like that much. Well, so I kept trying to open it, and I eventually had to break it. I didn't break the window, I just broke the wood off the bottom so it would have a bigger gap. And I ran away. Nobody seen me from the age of 15 years old until after I was 18. Not that I cared to see anybody, but when I ran away and went to the county that defects took me from. Okay? Literally, I still live in the same town to this day. Well, after I turned 18, because they never called me, like, ever. I guess I just, in my head, I just hid good, Well, my first job was at Dollar General, and I was just working one morning, and this lady come in, and oh my gosh, she looked familiar. She looks at me, and she goes, "What's your name?" And so I told her, and she's like, "I thought that was you." And then she goes, "So where'd you go?" It was one of the defects workers that had taken me from my home previously. And she's like, "Where'd you go?" I was like, "It's none of your business." I said, "But just know I was right up under your nose and you couldn't find me the whole time." When I tell y'all, she looked back at me and goes, "No, we didn't even look for you. We did not even look for you." So you're telling me, I can't remember how old I was when I ran away. I think I was like 15. So you're telling me from a 15-year-old girl runs away and you don't look for her? Come on now. If you also have a crazy defect story or crazy story in general, let me know. I want to hear it. And if y'all want more story times, let me know. And I got y'all.